Welcome to Databricks News. Today I want to talk about discovering Unity Catalog, new serverless number 5, Java tasks on serverless, OneLake Federation, Python unit testing, new connectors, and scoped personal access token. So let's jump to the first update. There is new discovery page, and we can see that Unity Catalog is getting serious. It wants to be more as a data catalog for business users. So now we have this concept of domains, subdomains. So let's look technically how is it working. We can create new domain. So everything its new strategy is based on tags. Yes, so we can use existing tag or new tag. So let's call this tag marketing. So it can be like marketing domain with marketing tables. We should specify technical owner. So I will specify myself. We can specify business owners, and we can create that domain. And then to that domain we can add assets. So the most important asset is tables. So for example, let's add table brands. We can also add metrics view, for example, and dashboards, the jobs, and probably soon more assets. And once we design that domain, we can publish it. So the domain and discovery page is published. Technically, if you go to the table which we added to that domain, we can see in that table, let's make it smaller a bit. We can see that here we have this tag marketing in that blue color, which means that tag is used to assign that asset to the domain. Of course, you can specify policies who can manage that tag. I think it's important step. So Unity Catalog, it will be like less technical but more oriented for business users. Another update is related to serverless. Now we have a new version, which is version 5. Of course, remember that it's different than in classic cluster because it's the version of API. The serverless runtime is always in the latest version, but it's version of the runtime which is connected to some version of Databricks Connect. So in that, we can see this in documentation, but that runtime 5 is using API Connect of runtime 18 of Databricks. So all comments which are available in 18 are available in that runtime. And of course, there are different Python packages, so you can always change documentation and see what is included in that version. So for example, you click here and you can see all commits and all installed Python libraries in that new serverless version. When we are at serverless, there is also now possibility of running jar task on serverless. So if we scroll here, here is jar task. And instead of standard compute, we can just use serverless. So you specify which class you are running, and then jar task, it can be run on serverless. Especially it is useful for very short jobs because it's cheaper to run them on serverless. Another update is really big one because now you can federate your OneLake from Fabric under Lakehouse Federation and use that data directly in Databricks. Let's look how it works. So when we are in catalog and we create connection, we can create new connection to OneLake. So let's name it OneLake. Connection name already exists. Okay, let's OneLake X. And credential. And here's a really nice part because to access that OneLake storage in Azure, you can actually use your access connector. So when you created your Unity catalog on storage, you probably had to register that access connector. And now you can reuse that connector or create another one to actually access that OneLake. So here in Fabric, we need to go to the workspace. So here we have test workspace, and we need to click manage access, and we need to grant that access connector permissions. It can be read-only or contributor. That access connector from Databricks is visible here as a service principal. So we granted that access. And then in that workspace, I actually created that test lakehouse. So here I see ID of my workspace actually. So I copy paste it here. And here in create connection, it's using some name for our catalog because it will register this as a catalog. And now we need to point it to data item. It's actually that ID of lakehouse. So it should be that one. And now let's test that connection because actually sometimes I had some problem to connect, and that part is really important. So we created something which will work. So come on. Okay, and it's working. So now just click create catalog. We can grant all workspace user browse permission, click next, click save, and catalog with OneLake is created, and we can see that here we see test schema. And actually we see here OneLake catalog and our schema, test schema, and our sales table. So it's working. Another update is possibility of running unit test directly in Workspace UI. So if your file has name test and / or there is test in the end of file, Databricks automatically catches that files that it's possible to run tests on them, and then you have just this button run tests. So it's really easy. You don't need to write comments, PyTest, and execute it. Actually, it was a bit headache often in Databricks, and we see that tests are working, and it looks really nice. So when you work on your project, it's really good to create Python file. It's not notebook, the Python file actually, and run tests on your data set, on your classes. So we can see that here is assert true, so it's passed, and here is it should fail because 4 is not equal 3, and actually it's really nice designed. So I really like that improvement. Another update is also related to Unity catalog. As we discussed, there is new connection to OneLake, but actually there are even more connections. So let's scroll down, and we can see that there is HubSpot now. It's new. Actually, there are a lot of connectors we mentioned in previous video related to marketing, to ads, like meta ads. But another one, I think, is TikTok ads. Yes, it's here, TikTok ads. Also, Zendesk was added recently. And when we go to data ingestion tab, actually more and more of this connector has now UI version. So for example, MySQL was available for a long time, but we can see that we have now also UI version of starting the ingestion process. The same HubSpot is here, TikTok ads not, but we can see that it's not anymore few connection, now it's dozens. So I hope that soon it will be more than 20, then more than 30. It's a really important part of Databricks. And of course, recently we have also availability to use ZeroBus. It's a really easy way to ingest data by using API or telemetry protocols or some other soon streaming protocols to Databricks. So I really recommend anyone who is using, for example, ADF for some ingestion to explore that connectors. And whereas last updates is related to security, when you go to settings and when you go to developers and generate new access token, it's possible now to use API scope for your token. Maybe when you are a user, it's not so important, but many of us are administrators. So then you can really restrict that token to use only some scopes. Also through API, you can create a token for service principal. So this way, in fact, you can make it much more secure, because usually when I create access token, it's used only for some use cases, like for example, running jobs. And this way you can restrict that this token will be not used for any other parts of Databricks. And that's all updates for last week. There are much more to come. So see you in a few days, and thank you for watching.